Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Narrow Squeak.
I'm Sheena.
And I'm Crystal. And I said that backwards, so we're still Narrow Squeak.
We're here to talk to you about some freaky deaky things. Wait.
Yes. Wait.
Maybe not freaky deaky. Maybe creepy.
Very creepy.
Yeah. Wrong podcast if you're tuning in for freaky deaky.
Yeah. But I do have suggestions if you would like to listen to podcasts about freaky deaky. One of them being, oh my god, you need to listen to it. Sheena, I tried to get you to listen to it. It's an older podcast.
Oh, right.
It's called My Dad Wrote a Porno. It is the funniest. I cannot listen to it at work because I piss myself laughing the whole time you have listened to me laughing. It's ridiculous, but this guy's dad actually wrote a porno, and he and his friends read a chapter each episode. It is the book is awful, but them reading it and it's just hilarious. Go listen to it. Not safe for work, not safe for children, clearly, based on the title.
If you thought it might be, well then your parenting's questionable.
That wasn't even on my list of updates, but there you go. First thing right out of the gate.
Alright, you said you have some awesome updates, so.
I do. Okay, so first thing is we were talking about this just a couple minutes ago, and I wanted to save it for when we were recording. I would like to apologize again. Last week I had to apologize, or last episode, or creepypasta episode, I apologized for doing the Cecil Hotel wrong. And this week I'm going to apologize because apparently giving people thumbs up on text is the equivalent of giving them the finger.
Sure is.
So recently I sent Sheena a thumbs up, and she says, please stop doing that. I don't like it.
It's just like, but I really want to do it more now. And I'm like, I'm on my way to your house. Do not send me a thumbs up because I'm not coming if you sent it. And then she didn't understand that it was basically saying, fuck you.
I didn't.
Every time she sends me a thumbs up.
I was like, why is Sheena so mad at me? And then I saw this meme, and then I sent it to Sheena because it was basically outlining that I had been giving her the thumbs up. And I've also done it, like, consistently to everybody for a very long time. To anybody listening that has ever gotten a thumbs up from me in a conversation, I'm sorry. I cannot promise that I won't do it again because I do it all the time.
That when people go K.
Yeah.
Like, KK, fine, but like, just, yeah. I'm like, add a little something else because it's just rude.
There is a lot of, like, implication with just the letter K.
Yeah.
And I do this too, not intentionally, but sometimes I'm just busy and I just write back K. Or I write back, okay.
Yeah, okay. Like, okay, I like that one. But if it's just K, I'm like, well, fuck you too. Basically, like, you know what? I'm not coming.
We've learned a lot about text etiquette from Sheena this week, so there's that. The other thing I wanted to apologize for, because it seems to be my thing, is any of you that are on our Facebook group saw my little live. I hope most of you didn't see my picture, but so I have a separate Instagram account for myself because I've been doing a lot of working out, and I didn't want to spam my friends with pictures, but I really wanted to keep myself consistent by posting somewhere about my progress in my working out and healthy lifestyle. Well, I went to post it on that account, and I was still on the Narrow Squeak Instagram account, but the two were linked. So as soon as I did it, I realized I was on the Narrow Squeak Instagram, and I deleted it right away. But I didn't realize that it didn't automatically delete the Facebook one.
So I'm scrolling Facebook and I see Crystal's posted a Narrow Squeak with her flexing the camera. And I was like, hey, what'd you call it? A chicken wing? And I was like, nice chicken wing, but did you mean this for our group? And she's like, oh, I deleted it. And I was like, I literally just saw it.
I don't think you did. So yes, I would like to apologize again for that. I would also like to thank the people that appreciated and congratulated me on my lack of gobbler, which is what I called the bottom half of my arm. It was great. It was very motivating, but sorry.
That's funny.
So those were my apologies, but I had other exciting things.
Okay.
One of them being, now that we have our Instagram account, I don't know about you, but I'm in there scrolling all the time. But did you know?
Not on work time, though.
No,
Boss
not on
man.
work. No, I don't have time to pee, let alone
I know.
time
I'm
to scroll.
super busy now, too.
So that's not happening at work. But I do, after work, I do a lot of scrolling, and I started following a couple different keywords that brought me into the world of true crime book reviewers. Have you seen these? Like, people are posting all the time, and now I want to read all the things. So if you ever get a chance, go on Instagram and search book review of true crime, or like just true crime books, I think is all it is. And it just, you'll be full of suggestions because they're so great.
That's good.
Yeah.
And it tells you which ones are worth your time and not, so.
Yeah.
That's
and
helpful.
if you like novels, like I like novels. I like true crime books, but I find sometimes they can be really dry because the reality is you're dealing with crappy stuff. Nobody except for podcasters want to make it amusing.
Fluff this up a little.
But so if you like novels that are crime related or suspenseful, they have a lot of suggestions for those too, which are really cool. And another thing, did you know that Disney Plus has a new channel?
Oh, I saw your Facebook post about this, and that you're going to lock your kids in their bedroom at 5.
I did not lock my children in their bedroom. I did not. They did that themselves. I didn't lock them in, but I did start watching Criminal Minds again, which is so great.
You know, I've never watched it.
You need to. You need to. So here's the thing. Most of the cases you're going to recognize.
Oh, right. I saw that.
Because they're based on...
real stories.
They're based on real stories. Real criminal profiler...
Sorry, interfinger?
Real criminal profilers worked on the production. So they use references from real life cases. Like they do Robert Pickton, they do the Unabomber, they do all kinds of things. But so I'm rewatching the first season, and I watched Criminal Minds like when it came out. So I was not as much into true crime as I got into later in life. I recognize what cases they're talking about most of the time now. So I'm like, this is kind of cool. Also a little afraid for myself.
Yeah. Why do I know all of it?
All of them. All of them.
I'm excited to check that out.
Yes. But so, related to this, though, so the other day I was working from home, and I had it on in the background, and I wasn't watching, but I have to have noise. Otherwise, I hear everything in the house, and it freaks me out. Well, on this particular day, background noise or not, I got freaked out because something in my basement fell over. Like, and not just like, bam, something fell over, and you could noticeably say, like, something had just been falling for a long time and you didn't notice, and then all of a sudden it falls, right? No, this slowly, progressively slid and fell. So, for some reason, and I never do this, but for some reason I was brave enough to go down in my basement and see what it was.
First mistake, lady.
Nothing had fallen over.
Oh.
Right. So I'm texting with my girlfriends. I have 3 girlfriends. We have a group chat, and we talk every day, every single day. So I messaged them, and I said, well, I think I'm done watching Criminal Minds for today. Something just fell in the basement. It made a loud noise. There's nobody down there. Trust me, I went and checked. But if I don't answer you in a couple hours, it was the serial killer in episode 4, season 1, where he was gluing their eyes open.
Oh.
Yeah, that was funny. They thought it was hilarious.
Send help.
Send help. Send help. Maybe send the cast.
Oh my god.
Yes, so needless to say, was freaked out for the rest of the day. Could not watch true crime anymore for the rest of the day, so I had to watch something else.
I want to watch just the rest of what Disney has to offer at that point.
Well, they have a lot.
The happy shows.
Oh my god, they have so many things.
I have Disney Plus and I pay for it, but do you think I ever go on there?
You will now.
Yeah, I will now.
Go watch Criminal Minds.
Dom and I were supposed to watch all the Avengers movies, but he sucks. So
They're good. They're good.
I
too.
like them a lot, but we're supposed to watch them together.
Yeah.
Like,
what else was on there? We watched The Martian the other day, which was really, really good.
oh, that is good.
I love that movie. It's almost like it's a space version of Castaway.
Yeah, basically.
Essentially.
Basically.
And Matt Damon is so good. Like, you get emotional when he's, like, trying to get off the planet. I'm not going to say how it ends, but he's trying to get off the planet, and you feel the emotion that he's feeling at the end, and it's like, oh my God. He's just so good.
He's such a good actor. Good Will Hunting's one of my favorite movies.
I have never watched it to end. I've watched half of it. I've never watched the full thing.
It's really good. Really, really good. And coming back to the criminal minds thing, if anyone is a criminal, what'd you say, profiler, forensic profiler, and you're listening, can I take you out for lunch? Because I want you to tell me everything.
Or better yet, come hang out with us.
Yeah.
Come hang out with us. We would love to pick your brain. Not literally, though, because that's gross. Yes, we would love to hear from you if you have any relation to crime, like professionals. I think
just
they're
not
so
if you're
cool.
the one committing them.
Yeah, we don't want to. I don't want to be in that awkward position where
I'm now like an accessory, and
or like fearing for my life.
Oh, yeah, I guess that too. I'm worried about going to prison. You're worried about being murdered.
And this is why Sheena's going to get abducted, and I'm not.
Just don't take me to prison.
Dear Lord. Okay, so I have one last update, and then we'll get into your stories. So, did you ever read any of the Fear Street novels when you were a kid? R.L. Stine, guy who wrote Goosebumps.
Ooh, I don't know.
So there was a separate line of books that he did aside from Goosebumps.
I think maybe I did, actually.
And they were Fear Street. They were basically like horror books for like 10 to 13-year-olds, basically. So they are turning 3 of them into movies for Netflix. So they're doing a whole series of them, which is super exciting. They're coming out in the summer. I'm excited because I read all that stuff. I didn't like Goosebumps, but I liked Fear Street. Good. Are you afraid of the dark?
Yeah.
I was very tempted to start my stories with, it's a true story. It happened to a friend of mine.
But Tales from the Crypt Keeper.
Yes, but Are You Afraid of the Dark is very Canadian, so I didn't want to do it and then have anybody listening from like the States or Europe going, what are they talking about? But yeah. So there was Are You Afraid of the Dark, Tales from the Crypt, and Goosebumps. But there was also there was another author, Christopher Pike. I loved his books, and his were like for 13, 15, like still young, but his books were so good, and you can't find them.
Really?
Yeah. It's very hard to find Christopher Pike books. If you are out there and you're listening and you can find me Christopher Pike books, I will love you forever. Yes, they were so good. Yeah, so those were my updates.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm excited to see those shows and bring back some nostalgia.
Yeah, so it'll be fun.
No wonder, we're this generation of liking true crime, because all of our shows that we watched when we got home from school were freaky.
Well, yeah, and so we were the kids raised when CSI was coming out.
Yeah, that too.
And parents just didn't seem to comprehend that it was inappropriate for their children to watch it.
Or raised on the O.J. Simpson trial.
There's that. Yep.
Yeah. Just eating my dinner, watching O.J. Literally, I'm not lying.
I remember.
Yeah.
No. Oh, jeez. All right.
Okay.
Creepy.
So I'll get into mine. I named them. I named my little stories. So the first one doesn't have a very unique name. It's just called Creepy.
I feel like you put a lot more effort into these stories than I did.
Oh, maybe. Maybe that's why I was so stressed. Okay, so a 14-year-old girl goes to the police station and says that she's being haunted by a ghost. Police keep ignoring her, just thinking that she's being a crazy teenager. Until one of the last times she goes there, she goes, I helped to murder her, and that's why she's haunting me. She says that they were at a nightclub one evening, and a female hostess that worked there, again, this is a 14-year-old in a nightclub.
Yeah.
So a female hostess that her and her group of friends that she was with, apparently the hostess stole a wallet from them, and after she stole the wallet from this group, the 14-year-old, along with some older men, abducted her. They dragged her to an apartment. Once they were there, they tied her up, tortured her, beat her for 1 month, kicked her in the head, burned her, made her eat feces, injecting her with drugs and raping her. Once they realized she had died, this is so gruesome. I'm Sorry.
You say, okay, can we just reference the fact that Sheena told another story on my episode because it was too gruesome, because it was a head in a box, and then she goes on to detail this?
And I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. None of this is funny, fake or true or not, but okay. Anyways, once they realized she had died, they dismembered her. I can't even do it. Sorry. I can just feel your eyes staring at me in disbelief. Sorry. Holy moly.
Okay, I won't watch you.
Yeah. Once they realized she had died, they dismember her body in the bathtub. They boil parts of her body to prevent her from rotting. And with her boiled skull, they sew it into an oversized Hello Kitty mermaid doll. Eventually, after that girl goes to the police, they show up and they're traumatized by the sight. So that's story number 1. Story number 2 is called Cave Dwelling. This is a story of a man. He was about 26 and decided he wanted to go spelunking with his brother and several other family members. He had done this before in the past, however, it had been years since his last spelunk. This cave had...
Spelunk.
I don't know. I really like the word, so I say it a couple times because it's just super fun to say. Spelunk. This cave had a particular attraction called the birth canal, where, you guessed it, you can squeeze through a tight space head first into another section of the cave. He finds it, and he wants to try his head at the ultimate spelunk. As he creeps through, he realizes that he's made a terrible mistake. This is not the birth canal. This is something much, much smaller. He knows he can't get back the way that he came, so he wedges further through, but is now even more stuck. His brother grabs him by the legs and tries to pull him out, but can't. His brother runs to find help, and over the next 24 hours, 100 people come to rescue. He's been upside down and compressed for 27 hours at this point. They try to add a pulley system to yank him out. One of the pulleys comes loose, and after 27 hours of trying, he dies from cardiac arrest. He is still there to this day. The next one's called Serial. This is a story about a string of murders, aka serial killer, on the loose. These stories took place over several years, and there was 5 in total. At each scene, a playing card was left and a name written in blood. Each of the victims seemed to be left in fairly obvious locations. The first victim was last seen leaving a party at around 1 a.m., and she was found the next day by a couple in the woods, but there was no evidence to find out who did it left at the scene. The second victim was abducted from his apartment. On the camera, they can see a hooded figure. He is leaving with him, and he is found outside of a bar that his band used to play at, or plays at. The third was abducted 1 week before her high school graduation. She was found heavily mutilated in a shallow grave. Again, no evidence. The last 2 were siblings found dead in their own beds. Their bedroom window had been left open, so remember, lock your windows and your doors, everyone. And after the last murders, a man was arrested for all 5. However, he stated he didn't recall doing them. He was later released because he had a solid alibi of being at a homeless shelter all of the times that these were happening. No one had ever been charged for this. And my last story is called Babysitting Nightmare. An October evening in the 50s, a husband and wife decided to attend a homecoming game in their small hometown. The regular sitter was also attending this homecoming game, so they asked young Evelyn to fill in. Her parents asked that she call at 8:30 to check in, but the phone never rang. Her father, now concerned, called several times, however, no answer. Her father then drives to the home. He finds all the doors locked and the lights and radio on. The baby is still in the crib, but there's no Evelyn. Once inside, he notices there had been a significant struggle. Furniture was rearranged, her school books were thrown about, one of her shoes and her glasses had been broken. All of the windows were locked except the basement one in the back of the house. A stepladder had been placed in front of it and a screen outside. 3 other windows had pry marks on them. There was also blood marks found outside and a bloody handprint on a garage that was 100 meters from the house. Over the next several days, police kept finding bloodied shoes, pants, jackets, etc. all through the town. She was never found. So, what do you think of story number 1?
In story number 1, it's the bartender that's kidnapped, right?
Yeah.
I think that one's fake.
It's real.
Shut up!
So this is the Hello Kitty murder that happened in Hong Kong in 1999. Her name was Fan Man Yi, and she was only discovered because of the perpetrator's girlfriend, so the 14-year-old. The really screwed up part is the 3 men that were involved were only charged with manslaughter because they couldn't tell the cause of death because all of her body parts had been boiled and her head sewn into that costume. So the little girl, the 14-year-old that was involved, she testified for immunity, and they were all eligible for parole in 2019.
Wow.
I'm not sure where they are today.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. Gross.
Cave dwelling.
The fact that his body is supposed to still be there makes me think that that one's fake too.
It's real.
Shut up! I am bad at this. We're both bad at this.
This is the story of the Nutty Putty Cave and John Jones. It happened in Utah in 2009. The cave had been opened and closed several times due to close encounters. In 2004, there was 2 young boys a week apart that needed extractions. They literally could not get his body out, so the cave has been sealed with him inside of it.
That's like the bus in BC. That it's either Into the Wild or Call of the Wild.
Oh, yes.
They actually had to go and take the bus out because people keep trying to go to it.
And they keep dying.
And they keep dying it because they're trying to follow the steps of that author.
Yeah.
Which is awful.
It's ridiculous. So they, closed the cave
Same
off.
idea.
Cereal.
I know of a case that's similar with the playing cards, but I don't know if this one is.
Yeah, this is fake.
Yeah.
That's a creepypasta.
That's the creepypasta.
That's a creepypasta.
Because I know there is one where he was using, like, he was leaving playing cards, but there was nothing written on them.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, and Babysitting Nightmare.
I think that's real.
It is. So this is a case of Evelyn Hartley, who disappeared October 24th, 1953 in Wisconsin. Ed Gein was a prime suspect and questioned in regards to this case.
Of course you'd tie it.
Yeah. So, although no one was ever implicated on this. So
wow.
She's never been found, but Ed Gein was questioned about it, and then he went into the psychiatric hospital, and I think they stopped questioning him about it. But anyways. Wow. Yeah.
All right.
But it was the cave dwelling one that I was telling Dom, and he's like, oh, I already know. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And he's like, I know. And I was like, how do you know? And he's like, I know everything. I was like, well, excuse me, you're 13. What do you mean you know everything? He's like, I just know everything. And he wouldn't, like...
It's one of those random things that, like...
Yeah, so I was concerned that you were going to know it.
No, I didn't know that one, but that is something straight out of my nightmares. Like, I'm scared of confined places.
I would never, ever, ever know. Like,
well, and our other coworker was talking about a part of, like, there's an obstacle course for firefighters that they have to do, where you actually, with all your gear on, you have to go and climb into this confined space, and you have to... Nope. I said, I would not... Nope. I wouldn't even sign up for that. No.
Nope, that's the day I quit.
I don't need to be a firefighter that bad.
Nope. Well, I'm glad I didn't go through for it then. I would never would have made it in that.
No.
Panicked. Call the ambulance!
I would panic so bad. Like, I would be an awful firefighter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no confined spaces for me. I don't like them.
Yeah, I never want to go caving.
No.
It's just not, it's not for me.
Well,
like big caves, walking through them, that's fine.
Yes and no. Have you been in?
Yeah, the Bonisher.
Oh,
caves.
yeah.
Yeah, I did those. And then in Thailand I did some, but I smoked my head off the cave and like almost blacked out because I couldn't get my helmet on and I was sick and I was crying and I was trying to put my helmet on and then I hit my head and then I was like, ah! I hated it all. I had the worst cold of my life. It's a terrible day. I forgot my water shoes and I'm terrified of like little things in the water.
Oh my god,
a bad experience.
We went because in Pennsylvania when you go to Hershey, there's caves there that you can go on tour and it's really cool. Rob and I, when we first found out we were pregnant with Parker and nobody really knew we were together even. That was a thing. We went on a trip and we went to Hershey, Pennsylvania and we went into these caves and they're really cool, but the deeper you go in, the lower the ceiling gets.
Yeah, no,
and
that's right.
and
I'm like,
I didn't like that. But then I also don't like, it looks slimy. Like everyone's like, oh, look at the stalagmite. I don't know the word. Whatever. They're like, it's so beautiful. And I'm like, that looks like snot and cum.
Oh.
Like, no, that's not beautiful to me.
It's sticky, icky, icky. Okay. It looks like snot and cum. Get away from me.
Right. I'm like, I don't want touch the walls because it can, like, ruin ecosystems and stuff. I'm like, I don't want to touch the fucking
ruin
walls.
my ecosystem.
Yeah. Anyway, that was...
Oh, that's funny.
Yes, so caves are not a thing for me. But in this one, this guy had lived in it for years and years. Like, he had just gone off grid, and before they went and obviously started doing tours and stuff, was when he lived in it. And he lived in it for years, and just... That was where he... They had the spot where he slept up... I don't know how he even got up there, but...
I never want to have to live in a cave. There's that.
I don't think he had to. He chose to.
No, why?
I don't know. I don't...
Not for me.
No, not for me either. I would like to stay firmly on the grid. Thank you very much.
I'll pay for the damn utilities.
As much as I don't like to, I will pay for it if I have to. Oh, geez.
All right. Wow.
Well, so guys, like I said, this is following up on our... This would hopefully be following up on our Irish-themed St. Patrick's Day. And if you're listening to it right after the other creepypasta episode, it means...
Disregard.
it means that the next step will be...
the next ones will be
Irish, which is super exciting. Because we recorded the 2 creepypasta episodes together, if you haven't figured that out yet. What else is there? So I've had actually, before we sign off, I've had a couple ideas. Sheena and I, right from the start, have talked about doing, once things are open up, because we started a podcast in the middle of a pandemic, and that is fun for us, but doesn't mean we can do any events. Mm-hmm. But we've always said we wanted to. Now we are talking about, we've always talked about doing a live event at a location.
The true crime storytelling night.
Yeah.
It would be so fun.
So we're going to start planning something. I feel like we should start planning something. Obviously we can't do it yet, but we would like to start planning it.
Well, and see interest, and if people, the idea would be that you can come and, have a beer if you're into beer or whatever, and tell a story. Yeah. True crime story, sort of like open mic, but...
or listen to stories, and we'll do some trivia and stuff. But I've had a couple other ideas since then.
Ooh, okay.
So one of them, and I sent you a message about it, which was kind of cool, and Sheena suggested that we take it to YouTube.
Oh, yes.
I would like to find, and I realized that we have a local place that actually rents out board games, and I wonder if they have one.
Oh, maybe.
But they're like, you can get these board games that are like almost like escape rooms, but this one is not an escape room. Instead, you have to solve the crime. And if they don't have one, you can order them. We can order them on Amazon, which is relatively cheap. But what we'd like to do is go to YouTube and try and solve it, and then let you all watch the shit show that happens while we try and figure out the crime.
Wine will be helping me.
Wine will definitely help, or maybe it won't. Either way, it'll be entertaining for you. So that was one thing. The other thing I was thinking is there is a local, like, creativity bar.
Yes. That
I thought would be kind of cool. We could, as another location type thing. It's a smaller venue though, so it would be
I know
a more
the one
intimate.
that opened up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
So I like to craft. Imagine that. I like true crime, but I also like to knit. So that really seems like my bag.
Yeah.
And the going to a microbrewery just seems right up Sheena's alley.
That's 100% my alley. I live in that alley.
Oh
no, I don't. Feels like it some days.
Oh. But yes, so we have some fun things happening, and we'd like to do them, and that we're just working on some of those things, and maybe if the pandemic could just really screw off, that would really be helpful.
Yeah, everybody just tap your shoes 3 times.
And until we can do those things, make sure you're checking out all the documentaries and go watch Goodnight Sugar Baby.
Yeah, you are not going to know what is going on, but it's interesting.
I still feel like I don't know what's going on.
Like in life or the documentary?
Yes.
Yes.
I got nothing.
Right.
I'm 33 and I don't know what I'm doing.
But yes, watch Goodnight Sugar Babe.
Yes.
You'll
All right.
All right.
Well, that is all I had.
That's all I have.
And well, if that being said, Sheena, don't get abducted, actually. I think might be more appropriate.
I'll do my best.
You make no promises, though.
I make no promises. If I'm not here with you guys next time, then
if I have a new co-host, we know why.
I've been adopted.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.